delivery, but he hides the ball very well. Ogando, when he brings his leg up, the leg, the glove, and then he takes the ball out in a way that it's guarded by his hip. The hitters cannot see that. And then it's behind his body from his hip all the way up to his shoulder. And then when the ball goes up and it's behind his head, so they're still not seeing it. And then at 94 to 97 miles an hour, it gets on the hitter and it's by him. He throws a lot of high fastballs, but look at the last hit. The last look that the left-hander and right-handed hitter sees coming out of his head. The ball just disappears. It is on you. He is exceptional. He throws very, very well, and he is hard to hit.
He is facing a potent offense tonight in the New York Yankees. The Yankees bounced back yesterday in the Saturday game, and they beat Texas to even up this series at a win apiece. They got some good starting pitching from Freddie Garcia, who finally got a chance to make his first start of the season. 6 crafty innings for the veteran. And what else is new for the New York Yankees? A couple of home runs. Mark Teixeira, a 2-run shot. Robinson Cano, a big home run late to give the Yankees a little breathing room as they win 5-2. The New York Yankees have hit 24 home runs, Bobby, in 13 games. Easily the most home runs so far in the major leagues. This is a dangerous bunch.
Yeah, and they're the version of the Bronx Bombers 2011. They've hit the ball out of any ballpark, and especially here. They have a few guys in this lineup that can turn a fastball around. One of them is Robinson Cano. Hit a home run last night. Many people think he's a potential MVP. He can hit, he can field, and he can smile with the best of them. And we're looking for a great game out of him. And look out for George Posada. Orge will be ready for that fastball.
2 strengths for the Yankees so far this year, their power and their bullpen. And one of those relievers, Jabba Chamberlain, is standing by down on the field with our Buster Olney.
Now, Jabba, tonight, CC Sabathia faces the Texas Rangers. What's his greatest challenge?
I think to be able to get strike one and be able to expand the zone of the secondary stuff, his changeup is so good. So I think, he establishes his fastball and they continue to expand the zone on these guys. And, they can change the game in one swing. So, CC's going to go out there and be a horse for us and get us going.
The wind is blowing like crazy here today. How does that affect the thinking of a pitcher?
Just some of those instances on lefties, sometimes you just got to mainstay your strengths, but also know that once it gets up in that wind, sometimes it can get going. So you got to be careful and make your pitches.
Thanks, Jabba. Now over to the Rangers. Here's Wendy Nix.
Buster, thank you very much. I'm here with David Murphy. David, this is a very deep Rangers lineup. Even so, though, how do you compensate for the loss of a player like Josh Hamilton?
I don't think you can ever replace a guy like Josh. He's an MVP. He can do some things in this game that not too many guys can do. So you don't try to replace him. You just move on and continue to play good baseball.
Ogando wasn't even tapped to be a starter in this rotation, yet he's been a major part of their success early on. What has he done that has allowed him to be so effective as a starting pitcher?
He just pounds the strike zone, and he's gotten deep into games, low pitch counts, and he's got great stuff. So we saw him do it in the bullpen. Obviously we've seen him do it as a starter now, so hopefully can continue to be consistent.
David, thank you. Dan?
Wendy, thank you very much. Yankee Stadium continues to fill up. The Texas Rangers off to a great start this season. Take on the first-place team in the American League East, the New York Yankees, tonight in the rubber match of this 3-game series in the Bronx. Also coming up, a look back at an unusual injury. Josh Hamilton, the reigning MVP, out 6 to 8 weeks. The Baseball Tonight gang will look at some of the great performances from a Sunday around the major leagues, and a look back at the 2010 ALCS as the Texas Rangers advanced to the World Series for the first time in franchise history. For the second consecutive Sunday night game, we'll get a first-hand look at big left-hander CC Sabathia. The Yankees and Rangers are coming up. That's Bald Vinny out there in the right field bleachers, getting him ready. As each Yankee is supposed to acknowledge the roll call as the fans come to each player in turn. You can see Swisher saying, hang on a sec, there's a pitch coming. Now I got you. Such a shy guy, that Swisher. Strike 3 called to get Kinsler to start the game. And there Eric Chavez finally acknowledging the fans as he's throwing the ball around the horn. When you were out on the field, guys, I mean, they don't do it to the pitcher oral, but Bobby as an infielder, I mean, with that, is this fun? Is this distracting? How do you like this ritual?
I think it's a great ritual. As a matter of fact, it's just a page out of Japanese baseball. The only difference is they do that when you're at the plate, and everyone has a fight song, and that fight song is sung when you come to the plate and you acknowledge them, and then when you take the field, if you do anything good on defense, on offense, you salute them as you take the field.
There's Elvis Andrus just underway, one down here for the Texas first inning in the Bronx. Andrus, the talented young shortstop for the Rangers, who is also like Kinsler, not swinging the bat very well of late, but as Ron Washington told us, both guys are drawing walks, stealing bases, scoring runs, and playing great defense. And there's a line over to left field for Andrus. A one-out single here in the top of the first inning as we set the Yankee defense for you now. Although Bald Vinny took care of that, but we'll reset it for you with Gardner, Granderson, and Swisher left to right in the outfield, the usual trio for the New York Yankees. Eric Chavez, back in the day, won 6 Gold Gloves with Oakland. Derek Jeter at short, Robinson Cano at second base, and Mark Teixeira, the first baseman. And Russell Martin, who has started all but 1 game so far this season for the Yankees, catching Sabathia. Mark Teixeira, a pretty talented defender, Bobby.
Great range when he's on the base. Throws from the infield, up the line, and down the line. He makes all the plays.
Michael Young, the batter. Young DHing again tonight. That's his primary spot this year, although he's played some second, played some first. Right now his primary spot in the batting order is third. Josh Hamilton's spot for the foreseeable future. Ron Washington liking the experience of Young and also that .339 batting average.
And Dan, you know, we talked about Andrus maybe stealing from first. Well, the Yankees have given up the fewest stolen bases in baseball, and that is only 2. And Russell Martin has done a great job behind the plate. CC Sabathia and the whole pitching staff, it was one of their concentrations in camp to really do a better job with the running game, we were told by Joe Girardi, and they are proving it so far this season.
2-1 the count on Young. What can you do as a manager, as a coaching staff, to make your pitchers make it a point of emphasis to improve pitchers holding on runners?
You have to change your rhythm, as CC just did there. He used a quick step. Sometimes you hold it, sometimes you have a big kick, sometimes a small one.
Out of play, 2-2.
It's not that the pitchers don't know that, is that sometimes when the game is on and it's speeding up, they lose that in their priority list, and it's their job of the coaching staff and the manager to elevate that back up the priority list.
I believe every pitcher should have a package that he has when a guy's on first who steals bases and who doesn't. Hold it, throw to first, hold it, throw to home, quicken your move, slow it down.
Runner goes. Ball 3, throw down, wide of the bag, into shallow left center field. And Andrus into third. It'll be a stolen base for Andrus and a throwing error.
Dan, the Texas Rangers are the most aggressive team and the best base running team that I've seen so far this season. He gets a great jump on the first move of CC here. There's really no chance for Russell Martin to throw him out. But Cano has to make that play and keep the ball in the infield and keep him at second base. He gets up with a good pop-up slide. He's on third with one out.
Yeah, it is Martin charge for the air, but you could have just as easily given that to Cano, and they're not going to get it out. But if he catches the ball, Anders doesn't advance to third. And now Young, a swing and a miss for out number 2.
And that's how a pitcher picks up his defense. Or right there with 2 strikes. He knows the defense messed up. He said, it's my job to keep this ball out of play. Strike 3.
Sabathia won 21 games last year, 19 the year before. Winless so far this year, although he's got an ERA of just 1.45 at his 3 starts. He faces Adrian Beltre, the new Texas Ranger third baseman. It's a smattering of boos, probably having to do with the fact that he played for the Boston Red Sox last year when he had incredible numbers. Has yet to hit for much of an average so far this year, although he has been productive. Chases that high fastball and quickly in the hole, 0-2.
Well, he has 2 ideas here. Either follow that with a higher fastball or throw his breaking ball right off of that fastball and break it down and in.
CC's breaking ball is really not out of the high fastball window. He does such a good job of throwing the ball on the same trajectory as his fastball, and it's usually the lower one.
Just missed the outside corner with a fastball.
That fastball right there is the fastball that his breaking ball will look the same out of. The last one is definitely going to be a fastball. CC hardly ever throws a curveball that goes up out of his hand. His curveball comes out very level and then bites, and it's a pitch that is always in his repertoire.
2-2.
That was the changeup.
An important pitch for him, right?
I really believe that he carries his breaking ball with him almost every start. The pitches that he has to rely on are his fastball command and then his changeup. Those are the 2 pitches when he can locate the fastball and has the changeup that really make him the dominant pitcher that he is.
Beltre fights one off. Last year Beltre drove in over 100 runs. Hit 49 doubles, cashed in with a big free agent contract with the Texas Rangers.
Dan, he is in swing mode, meaning the bat wants to move as soon as the ball comes out of CC's hand. If CC can make the ball look like a strike and end up a ball, I think he gets it.
High in the air to left field and deep. Gardner back, running out of room, home run, Beltre. And the Rangers, who had not hit a home run in their last 5 games, strike early with a 2-run shot off Sabathia here in the top of the first.
This is what we were talking about, that CC's got him in swing mode, and he throws a ball that leaves his hand at a certain plane and ends up on the same plane, and Adrian was swinging as the ball came out of his hand. A great piece of hitting.
Yeah, and you see it's a high ball that he has to get his hands up above of and swing up at. He meets that ball perfectly and hits it out of park, Dan.
Not a lot of hitters can get to 93 up and out of the zone like that, can they?
You have to really lift your hands up. You have to be strong, and you have to fight through that swing.
An early 2-0 lead for Texas. Nelson Cruz is the batter. And he has a wild uppercut swing as he swings through that one. The count is 1-1. All kinds of wrappers and papers and so forth blowing around on the field right now. The flags are blowing briskly out toward left field. So Beltre may have gotten a little bit of help, although if you look down at field level, up in the air the wrappers are blowing right to left. Down on the field some of them are blowing left to right, and now the flags are changing direction. Everything is whipping around right now here at Yankee Stadium. Swing and a miss with the breaking ball to end the inning. So Sabathia strikes out 3, but also gives up a couple of runs on an Adrian Beltre home run. Texas strikes early. Yankee Stadium with the Texas Rangers leading 2-0 on the home run by Adrian Beltre off CC Sabathia. Look at the New York Yankees starting lineup as written onto his scorecard by Joe Girardi. The lineup is presented by Taco Bell. Derek Jeter in the leadoff spot. Curtis Granderson hitting second tonight. Mark Teixeira third. No A-Rod tonight. Sore back and oblique. So Robinson Cano moves up to cleanup. Nick Swisher hitting fifth. Eric Chavez filling in at third for A-Rod. Jorge Posada DHing into batting seventh. Russell Martin catching into batting eighth. And Brett Gardner in left field batting ninth. A very talented pitcher on the mound tonight for the Texas Rangers, Oral, Alexi Ogando.
In 2005, he was an outfielder. Now he is a pitcher. A very simple delivery, but a high fastball delivery. In the eighth inning of last year, as a reliever, up to 97 miles an hour. As a starter, fastball's down to about 94, but the breaking ball has really come. He changes speeds on his slider, but the ground ball to fly ball ratio, he is a fly ball pitcher. And with this wind swirling here tonight, could be blowing out the left or right on the field. It's different, but those flags are going out the left, and that ball that Adrian Beltre hit really got out of here.
You saw the names on that chart. You can be a successful pitcher in spite of the fact you give up a lot of fly balls. We'll see how Ogando fares on a windy night here at Yankee Stadium. Ogando gives up fly balls. Nobody hits more ground balls these days than Derek Jeter, the most scrutinized swing in America. Jeter is hitting .240 on the season, 12 for 50. He has 11 singles, 1 double. On the heels of a .270 season a year ago. 1 ball and 1 strike. And it seems almost everybody has an opinion on Derek Jeter. Bobby Valentine thinks he's this close to breaking out.
I talked to him before the game in the clubhouse. I asked him what he thought. He said, I'm really close to having the rhythm down.
Liner to right field. Cruz back. Makes the catch. Sharply hit. But it's an out here for Jeter in the bottom of the first.
And that was vintage Derek Jeter. He has 2,900 plus hits with that exact same approach. It's a fastball that he hits on the nose, leads with his hands just a little, has nothing to show for it, but it is a good feeling. I'm getting there, he says.
You can see it, 2,938 hits. So health permitting, on his way to 3,000, would become the 28th member of the 3,000 hit club at some point this year. Here's Curtis Granderson, the Yankees center fielder, hitting .238 on the season, 3 home runs. And he has popped one up, third base side. Beltre about 3 inches shy of being able to make that catch. As a pitcher, boy, that's got to bug you just a little bit, huh, Earl?
Just a little bit. You know, if the wind took it out of there. Adrian did a great job getting over there, getting to the rail, and now reading the ball. You don't want to try and time that. You want to get to the rail as soon as possible. If the wind brings it back into play, it's easy to back up. There's no barrier there. But if it's there and it makes you reach, you want to be there in an ability to grab the rail and get your weight over the rail to reach as far as you could, and that's what he did.
One of the best defensive third basemen in baseball, Adrian Beltre. Alexi Ogando just missed high with a 95-mile-an-hour fastball. Comes right back to the fastball at 96. Gets another pop-up. This one playable. And Beltre wants this one. And will make the catch for the second out. Andres might have called him off in a normal situation, but Beltre just missed the last one in foul territory. He wasn't letting anybody have that one.
Alexi's come out in this first inning with a 2-run lead and establishing his fastball. He said, here it is. You guys want to know what I have as a starter. I'm going to give you fastballs, and you're going to see many more of them here against Teixeira, especially up in the zone and in the zone.
And a strike at 95 as the Rangers put the shift on against Teixeira, even with Ogando throwing as hard as he does. 3 infielders on the right side of the diamond for Teixeira, who's already got 5 home runs this season. There's the breaking ball.
You see 2 different breaking balls, but both will really be called off the slider sign. He has a get-ahead breaking ball that has a shorter, tighter break, and then he has a little slower breaking ball for the strikeout.
High fastball popped up. So true to form. Everything in the air, but 3 up and 3 down for the New York Yankees. Ogando, an impressive start to this game here tonight. Bobby Valentine, Orel Hershiser, Buster Olney, and Wendy Nix with you here at Yankee Stadium. And Adriana Beltre, first inning home run off CC Sabathia, has given Texas a 2-0 lead. As Mike Napoli begins the second inning for the Rangers. He's playing first base tonight. He'll play some first, he'll catch, he'll DH once in a while, and he'll run into one every now and again. He's already got 3 home runs in just 18 at bats this year. Chases away, and it's a ball and a strike.
Real good platoon player, excellent against left-handed pitching.
And pretty good against the Yankees in his stint with the Angels. In fact, one of the most dangerous hitters the Yankees have faced in the last 60 years, the numbers suggest. 2 balls and a strike.
He's a good low ball hitter, and left-handers like to throw that down and in back foot to the right-handed hitter breaking ball, and he really feasts on that pitch.
Hit one out last week against them.
Yep.
Outside.
He's hitting 375 off of lefties already this year, just with the small sampling. I think he's had 8 at bats against lefties, 3 hits.
Big swing and a miss and a full count on Napoli. The Rangers won Friday night. The Yankees came back and won yesterday afternoon. The Rangers coming into this series with Harrison, Holland, and Ogando, their 3 most inexperienced starters, starting for Ron Washington, but they've split the first 2 games. Up high, ball 4. ESPN Sunday Night Baseball is presented by Taco Bell. Think outside the bun. And in part by One A Day Men's, the official multivitamin of MLB, specially formulated for men. By Liberty Mutual Insurance, responsibility. What's your policy? And MLB 11, The Show. Welcome to next level sports gaming, only on PlayStation. David Murphy steps in. The live K-Zone makes its first appearance of the night. First pitch swinging, ground ball to short, to second one. On to first, in time for the double play.
Teams within teams work together, and the shortstop combination is one of those teams within a team. And here's Derek giving a nice chest-high feed, and Robinson Cano, who touches the base with his left foot, brings the ball down, and then uses the bag to get up over the runner as he comes in. This is a 1-2-3 step. 1 with the left foot, 2 with the right foot, and 3 stepping over. Hello.
Made it look pretty easy.
Yeah, he did.
Well, it's not an easy play. Here's Jorvi Torrealba, the Texas catcher. One thing you see from a lot of teams in spring training, and I'm sure you did some of this, Bobby, both here and in Japan, is your shortstop and second baseman, or maybe your whole infield, they'll all play together in one spring training game. Then maybe the next day they get the day off and all the outfielders play together. Just so everybody comes out of the spring comfortable with the other players who matter to them the most.
Exactly, Dan. And they have hitting groups before games, and usually you'll have your shortstop and second baseman hit together, so when they take ground balls in practice, they're out in the field together.
The 2-0 from Sabathia, and he just missed outside, ball 3.
Another team within the team is the catcher and the pitcher, and Russell Martin has done a wonderful job of working with his new staff, catching every inning of every game except for yesterday.
And Gustavo Molina, who is not one of the, well, he is a Molina, but he's not one of those Molinas. He's no relation to Benji, Jose, or Yadier. Gustavo Molina making his first appearance in yesterday's game. Francisco Cervelli is still on the DL, recovering from a broken bone in his foot, but he's not far away. Big swing and a miss, full count.
And Bobby talked about how the middle infielders work together during batting practice with the same hitting group and taking fielding. The pitcher and the starting catcher work together because Russell Martin will take the last 5 or 10 minutes of the bullpen session down in the bullpen before CC comes into the game. So Russell has an idea what's working for him out in the bullpen and can bring that into the game with him.
In the air to right field, Swisher, inning over. A better inning for Sabathia. And one of the most dangerous hitters in baseball these days, Robinson Cano, leads it off for the Yankees when we come back.
Monroe visited troops in Korea. Afterwards, she returned to her husband and gushed, "You've never heard such cheering." Joe DiMaggio looked at her. "Yes, I have," he said.
Monument Park, of course, was brought over here to New Yankee Stadium from the old barn across the street. Joseph Paul DiMaggio, the Yankee Clipper. Today, by the way, is the 60th anniversary of Mickey Mantle's Major League debut, April 17th, 1951. Also happened to be the first game ever for the legendary PA announcer for the New York Yankees, the late Bob Shepard, who worked about some 56, 57 years. 60 years ago today, both Mickey Mantle and Bob Shepard made their debuts with the New York Yankees.
My senior year in high school, I was the guest of Michael Burke, who was the president of the New York Yankees at the time and an alum of University of Penn. He let me come on the field and meet Mickey Mantle as a high school senior.
Cano pops it up. And no play here as Ogando quickly jumps out in front 0-2. Robinson Cano's on an 8-game hitting streak right now, 364 during that stretch. Hit a home run yesterday and has truly become one of the great hitters in the game of baseball today. In fact, before the game, Bobby, you asked Ron Washington if a big situation late, is there a guy you would put on no matter what the circumstances are? And the first guy, the only guy he mentioned, Cano.
It was amazing. He does hit behind A-Rod. A-Rod's not in the lineup tonight, but he's becoming one of the most feared hitters and most respected hitters in the game of baseball.
Remember, that came from a manager who walked Miguel Cabrera, who was the tying run with a man on second in a game against Detroit. So he's not afraid to intentionally walk a hitter that he respects late in the game with the game on the line.
Off to a great start in his career, Cano, now in his 6th season as Nick Swisher waits in the on-deck circle. 2-0 Texas, bottom of the second, and Adrian Beltre home run in the top of the first doing the damage tonight. Fastball just outside. Boy, free and easy, Oral, at 96.
The thing they're working on with Alexi is the fact that there are such thing as waste pitches or expanding the strike zone, having command of the ball just off the plate to let the hitter get himself out on a very much a pitcher's pitch. And that was that type of fastball right there. Just off the plate, let Cano reach for it, ball.
Now the breaking ball hammered. Deep right field and gone. No doubter from Robinson Cano to extend his hitting streak to 9.
He got a slider in on his hands. Robinson Cano can get his hands in, work his body, and keep that inside pitch fair as well as anyone in the game of baseball. He got firm, he got turned, and he hit a home run.
2-1 Texas. Nick Swisher, the batter, as the live K zone comes in again. You can see where Torrealba is setting up behind the plate. Didn't miss his spot by much, just missed the outside corner. It's brought the Yankee fans back to life here in the Bronx. That home run by Robinson Cano, cutting the deficit in half. Rubber match of this 3-game series. Fastball pops him up. Andrews, 1 down.
Well, after that fastball away, you think that maybe he's set up for a breaking ball in. And here it comes right on the inside corner, right where he wants it on the belt. He gets firm. He clears his body so he can move his hands in towards his front hip. Bang. Not only home run, but hard and fair.
And well into the second deck in right field.
Many guys, after a fastball away, will hook that ball foul, or that will be, at best, a foul ball over the dugout. He kept it fair because he's very efficient.
Here's Eric Chavez filling in for Alex Rodriguez tonight. A-Rod out with some stiffness in his back and his oblique. Ground ball to second. Righted Kinsler for the second out. The Yankees continue to hit home runs at a remarkable rate, easily the most home runs in the majors this year. And they have scored the highest percentage of their runs on home runs. So is this good news that they've hit so many home runs, or is this dangerous that they are so reliant upon the home run to score?
Going into the day, the second place team only had 18. They had 24, and I don't think it's a problem as long as they're going to outslug the whole league. They're just really good singles. And if their average is slightly down, but they're producing runs, this is a game of eliminating runs and scoring runs.
The league average, by the way, is 32%. So the Yankees score 61% of their runs on homers this year. The league average 32%. A great example is Jorge Posada. He's got 7 hits this year, and 5 of them have been, to use Oral's term, really good singles.
Really good singles. And if you're going to have a total of all the other teams in the big leagues and your percentage of runs is high, that's a problem. But when you outslug the whole rest of the league and your average is slightly down, then I don't think it's a problem at all. This is about scoring runs.
But can you keep up the pace of almost 2 home runs a game that the Yankees are on right now?
No. Only because no one's ever hit 324 home runs.
They've played 11 of their 14 games here at home, and this is a good hitter's park. Jams him with a fastball, pop up to Napoli, and the inning is over. The Yankees, though, do get a run on a home run as Robinson Cano extends his hitting streak to 9, slugs his 4th home run of the season. 2-1 Rangers with a Baseball Tonight update from around the major leagues when we come back. All right, Carl, thank you very much. Julio Bourbon will lead off the third for the Rangers against CC Sabathia. You guys mentioned St. Louis. Ryan Franklin blowing the save against the Dodgers today. We will be in St. Louis 1 week from tonight as the Cardinals host the Cincinnati Reds. The MVP of a year ago, Joey Votto. The MVP of the year before that, Albert Pujols, going toe-to-toe next week as Bourbon chops one foul up the first base line.
Dan, Pedro Bourbon is one of the benefactors of Hamilton getting injured. He's really the only center fielder that they have on their team, and that means he's going to get on a lot of playing time. He's going to be in center field. He knows he comes to the park every day, and they're going to get a true read on what kind of player he is after these 2 months.
No balls and 2 strikes on the young center fielder, lefty on lefty. Sabathia's breaking ball slapped between first and second and into right field. A base hit for the speedster. Bourbon is aboard to begin the third. Sabathia with a look of frustration on his face. Wasn't hit hard, and now a definite stolen base threat is on. Although, as we mentioned earlier, the Yankees came into the game having allowed only 2 stolen bases all season, but Elvis Andrus already has one here tonight.
I think CC got very lackadaisical with that breaking ball. They were all thinking, I got a ninth place hitter up who shouldn't even be in the lineup. I'm just going to throw him a breaking ball, and he paid for it.
Kinsler, the batter, shows bunt, takes a strike.
This is a time when CC can't have his attention divided. They've already given up a stolen base in this game. It was on first move. Ian Kinsler started off a slow start lately. He's been swinging the bat poorly, but at the beginning of the year he was hot, and this is the type of pitcher he likes if the fastball's in there. CC's got to really concentrate on the hitter here and not the base runner.
Well, Gary Pettis, the first base coach who has worked with these baseball players religiously, knows that this is a 1-3-5 move to the plate, easily stolen if you go.
Little slide step to a certain extent there from Sabathia.
He changed it up and turned it into the 1-3-5 to a 1-1. That's one of those moves that if you're thinking about stealing, as soon as he gives the quick step in, you shut it down.
Sharply hit to third. Chavez up with it to Cano to Teixeira for the 5-4-3 double play.
And how about the Yankees being able to put Eric Chavez into the lineup when A-Rod is out? Here he goes to his left, gives a great feed to Robinson Cano, who does his patented 1-2-3 double play. That's 1 stepping on the base with his left foot, 2 coming down on his right foot, and 3 delivering the ball to first base. Does it as well as anyone.
6 Gold Gloves with the Oakland A's, Eric Chavez, who the last 4 years, he didn't play a whole lot at all the last 4 years because of injuries, but you go back to his prime with the Oakland A's as a defensive third baseman, as an offensive player. You're talking about one of the special players in baseball for a number of years.
Absolutely.
There's Elvis Andrus.
And Dan, during the winter, there was so much made of the Yankees not making any moves. And Brian Cashman, along with his scouting director, Billy Epler, did a fabulous job of getting Chavez, of getting Martin behind the plate, getting pitchers.
Bartolo Colon.
Last night we saw Garcia out on the mound.
Freddie Garcia.
And you know, this is just a group of well-trained athletes put together in the right spot, and a great job of scouting by Epler and Cashman.
On the appeal, he did not go. And the count is 3 balls and a strike on Andrus. Russell Martin has turned into one of the more significant offseason pickups so far. Catching every day but one, throwing out runners, swinging the bat well, and learning a whole new pitching staff. On the corner, full count.
And on his off day, where was he, Dan?
He was sitting between 2 of the starting pitchers in the dugout.
Nova and A.J. Burnett.
Yeah. Joe Girardi liked that.
Who wouldn't?
Yep, former catcher himself, of course, and a good one. 2 down, nobody on. Full count pitch. slashed foul into the seats right side.
And Dan, the thought here, as we mentioned earlier, with Bourbon on base who's trying to steal, it was CC Sabathia's quick move and then a hold and a different move that kept him on first base that allowed the Yankees to turn that double play.
Fights off another one. Andrews checking with home plate umpire Fielden Culbreth to find out had he not swung at that, would that have been a strike? Wants to see how far out the strike zone goes. Eighth pitch of the at bat. Ground ball to short. Jeter to his left. Inning over. No runs, a base hit, nobody left. The Yankees coming up at the bottom of the third, trailing 2-1. Bottom of the third inning at Yankee Stadium with Bobby Valentine, Oral Hershiser, Wendy Nix, Buster Olney, and of course Carl Ravitch, John Kruk, Barry Larkin, and baseball tonight here as well. Bottom of the third, 2-1 Texas. Alexi Ogando, 27-year-old right-hander from the Dominican Republic, making his third major league start. And he hits Russell Martin with the first pitch of the inning. Breaking ball slipped out of his hand, grazed Martin. No intent as Martin takes his base. Ogando was a reliever last year with the Rangers, had an ERA of 1.30 in 44 appearances. This is a young man who was originally an outfielder in the Oakland A's system, a Rule 5 draft by Texas many years ago, but was denied a visa to the United States for 5 years after being one of many young baseball players from the Dominican Republic who married young women who had previously been denied visas to the U.S. in an attempt to get them into the United States. They all showed up, or many of these young players and their wives, their new wives showed up at the U.S. Embassy, and the U.S. Embassy figured out something was going on, blew the whistle on the whole thing, and a lot of the players were denied visas for a long time, including Ogando. Couldn't get into the U.S. for the last 5 years. So he was pitching at winter ball and in the Dominican Summer League. And the Texas Rangers, Bobby, they've been waiting a long time in the hopes of getting him up here because they knew how good his arm is.
Indeed, they waited and waited, and finally he got here, Dan.
Rhett Gardner with a chopper over the mound. Andrews step on second, throw to first. And just like that, a double play. For more on Ogando, let's go down to field level now and bring in Buster Olney.
Dan, you mentioned that he was an outfielder. He was actually a right fielder. And A.J. Preller, who was a scout for the Texas Rangers, saw him make a throw from right field to third base. And based on that one throw, he said, hey, this is a guy with a great arm, with a pitcher's body. He recommended to the Rangers that they drafted him. They got him for $12,000. When they finally talked him into trying pitching, his first pitch was 94 miles per hour. His second pitch actually hit the batter. Since then, it's gotten a lot better.
Yeah, it has gotten a lot better. 2 great starts to begin this season after a terrific year in relief as a rookie last season. Derek Jeter, the batter. Ogando wasn't even supposed to be in the rotation this year. But Tommy Hunter injured his groin. He's out several weeks. Brandon Webb still not healthy, trying to bounce back from the shoulder situation. Remember, they talked about moving Neftali Feliz into the rotation. Ogando was way down the list of potential starting candidates. But he has gotten the chance, and now that he's gotten the chance, who knows if he's going to give up that opportunity to be in the rotation with as well as he's pitched early on this season. Although the Rangers are hoping the cavalry is on the way, that at some point some or all of these guys are ready to pitch, and the soonest would probably be Hunter out with a groin injury.
Brandon Webb has had some success of late in this rehab process to come back. He hasn't been in the big leagues for about 2 years. Scott Feldman was a successful reliever for the Rangers, was a side armor, then moved up top and became a successful starter. Waiting to get him back. Just shows us how much depth the Rangers have. We have Josh Hamilton out. The offense seems like it's going to function pretty good. They'll miss the MVP and they want him back. And they've had pitching injuries and they've got some depth here. I think the only hole that we can really significantly say they have right now is the hole that Ogando left in the 8th inning.
From the right side.
From the right side. They're going to need some help in the 8th inning. And he filled that so well. Mike Maddox knows that. Ron Washington knows that. And it's something they'll be looking for. John Daniels has done a great job putting this roster together. Their general manager. But that is one place I think the Rangers will be looking throughout the year to find an answer for.
Ogando, nothing fancy so far with Jeter. The last 3 pitches, all fastballs, all at either 95 or 96.
And that's the book right now. Derek hasn't been able to catch up. He has tried to make adjustments. I think he's close to being on time.
Grounded to first. Napoli will take it himself to end the inning. Another good inning for Ogando. 2-1 Texas will go to the 4th. 3, 4, 5 hitters Michael Young, Adriana Beltre, Nelson Cruz coming up. Yankees 1. Final game of this 3-game series. Each team has won once so far. CC Sabathia facing Michael Young, the DH and number 3 hitter in the Texas lineup to begin the inning. Young struck out swinging his first time up. He'll be followed by Adrian Beltre, who homered tonight in his first at bat, and then Nelson Cruz. Live K-zone back in there shows that breaking ball from Sabathia. Drops in for a strike.
Dan, in the wintertime and the springtime, Michael Young was on the trade block, and sometimes the best deals you make are the ones you don't make. And Michael Young's here batting third, and they're glad they have him.
Into right field. That's a base hit, and it's going to get all the way to the wall in the corner. Young is on his way to second base and is in there with a leadoff double.
This is an AL batting champ. This is a guy who's the only player in Major League history to start 130 games or more at second, short, and third base. And he's a credit to the community and his team. He gets a fastball up and away and does exactly what it's taught to do. He comes down, he stays there, he picks the ball up a little further back in the plate and drives it into right field for a double.
Now Beltre with the ground ball foul up the first base side.
Oral, when you hit the ball well, the only difference on the direction of the ball off the bat is the angle of the bat. And that way, that time the bat was further back, so there was an angle that created the ball to hit that bat and go to right field. If you hit it out in front of the plate, the angle would create it to go the opposite direction.
Approximately about a quarter of a second from right field line to left field line, or what is it?
It's about a 30th of a second.
A 30th of a second.
The difference between hitting the ball down the right field line and hitting it down the left field line. Oh, a souvenir too. There it is. It died a warrior. That's the way they go.
Struck by lightning.
Beltre back in there. Whatever the timing is for Michael Young, he seems to do very well in this ballpark. He's now had a hit in all 15 games he's played in this stadium. That includes the ALCS of a year ago. And he's got an 18-game New York City hitting streak going back into the 2008 season.
He was moved into the 3-hole when Josh Hamilton got hurt. And the reason he got there is the resume, the experience. And really it was a surprise in his first at bat when he struck out with a man on third. He was 2 for 2 in those situations this year, and over his career he's been fantastic. And he made up with it with this double.
Only Ichiro has more hits than him over the last 8 seasons. Michael Young is 2 and Derek Jeter is 3. Albert Pujols is 4. Imagine.
Very good from memory.
Here's the 0-2. Reaching for it. Little looper. Left center field. Will drop for a base hit. Young around third on his way home. Beats the throw.
Yeah.
On the RBI single by Beltre, who's driven in all 3 runs for the Rangers here tonight.
Earl, you saw it. I saw it. Not only an experienced hitter is Michael Young, but an experienced base runner. He knew where the outfielders were playing. He's on second base with no outs. He knows he wants to get to third. But as this ball is hit, he reads it. He knows the ball's dropping. He scores on a base hit. Less experienced player would still be on third base, worried the ball might be caught by the left fielder.
You think that glance out to the outfield is the first time he knew where the outfielders are? No, he did that before the pitch was thrown. So he was just reassuring the information he already had in his head that was going on behind him. And that glance was just to make sure, yep, it is gone.
Exactly.
You take a picture in your head when you're on second base, taking off your lead and checking the outfielders and the infielders. And you're just assuring that the picture is the same.
Time called. So Beltre's driven in all 3 runs. Texas leads 3-1. Nelson Cruz is the batter. A young man Ron Washington said before the game, as we get a huge flash of lightning all of a sudden right over the stadium as you look out to center field. There's the thunder. And all of a sudden the skies have opened up here in the Bronx. Wow.
That lightning engulfed the entire sky. I've never seen that.
It went from foul pole to foul pole, and that got everybody's attention in a hurry. And they play on. It was not right over the stadium. It was out beyond the outfield. As we look straight out beyond center field, we could see it clearly.
And Dan, they'll play in a rainstorm, but if it lightnings again, they'll call this game in a hurry and get everyone off the field.
1-2 the count. That startled some folks. Nobody's moving in the bleachers, but everybody in the seats behind home plate, they've cleared out. Taking shelter on the concourse. Swing and a miss by Cruz for the first out of the inning.
Dan, that must have caught everyone by surprise because the umpires weren't ready. The ground crew is nowhere to be found. And that was just a bolt of lightning, and the little skies opened up. We have a little rain, but it looks like it's a passing.
Yeah. Rain's tapered off a little bit in the last minute or two. Here's Mike Napoli. Walked his first time up.
We have a wind change, too. Also, the flags are almost blowing straight down or a little in, where they used to be blowing out hard to left field.
Well, down to the field right next to the grounds crew is our Wendy Nix. Wendy, what was your vantage point on that lightning down there?
Oh, Dan, I am standing literally in the middle of the grounds crew who truly believed they were headed out. They had the tarp and took one step on the field before they were halted. So they thought they were headed out and just are ready to go at this point, waiting to see what happens.
Took everybody, or, well, we can't speak for everybody. Took us by surprise. Seemed like it came out of nowhere. There's a strike, 2-1. Even all the Yankees are hiding in the dugout right now. They were up on the top step over the railing. Good changeup, 2-2.
I'm staying.
Wind is still blowing. The flags have kind of reversed, blowing more from the left field corner toward the right field corner now, which is the opposite of what was happening at the beginning of the night. Ground ball to short. The second one, and on to first as the Yankees turn their third double play of the night. Another run for the Rangers. Ron Washington with Wendy Nix from the Texas dugout when we come back. Fourth time now for FaceTime presented by Edward Jones. Let's go down to Wendy Nix, who spoke with Ron Washington between innings.
Ron, you talked about your starting pitcher before this game and cited his composure as one of his greatest assets. What have you seen from Ogando so far?
Well, that's exactly what I've seen. You know, I mean, Cano comes up there and catches a slider and hit it out there, you know, but he maintained his composure and kept pounding his pitches through the strike zone. That's what he does.
Adrian Beltre had previously struggled against Sabathia, but now 4 for 5 in his last at-bats with a home run. Is there anything he figured out?
Well, I don't know, you know, but everything he got tonight we certainly need. So if he did figure it out, I hope he continued throughout the whole game.
Did that lightning take you by surprise as well?
Well, it did, because we thought it was supposed to have been a very nice night, but the rain has come in.
All right, Dan?
Wendy, thank you. Take cover down there. The rain also has turned to hail, it looks like now. Bottom of the 4th inning. Mother Nature full of surprises tonight. The conditions yesterday were just dreadful. Cold and rainy and windy. They played on here. Games were canceled in Philly or postponed in Philadelphia and Washington yesterday. So far able to play through this one in spite of the lightning and the hail.
Probably I knew Dan was a great play-by-play guy, but I didn't know the meteorologist's depth of his soul.
Where was he yesterday?
He went from rain to hail. He was in doing the Chicago game, the NBA
and we're
game.
here freezing, and he knows that.
Came in on the Knuckleball Express.
Liner to short. You want to know what the dew point is?
Okay.
Granderson lines out for the first out of the inning. Hey, we've got a roof over our heads. Well, we've got it better than most right now.
Especially Wendy and Buster.
Yeah.
What a wealth of knowledge, Dan. Really?
Here's Mark Teixeira.
He is from Canada.
Ooh, they're all smart up there.
And used to hail. And a strike. Teixeira popped up his first time up. True to form, as we saw that ground ball to fly ball ratio for Ogando. Almost every out the Yankees have made, it's been in the air. Pitches up with the fastball, gets a lot of outs in the air.
Well, I truly believe he's able to pitch up in the strike zone because it's hard to see the ball, so they pick it up a little late. Once they pick it up, it looks good because it is up, but then it's 94, 95 miles an hour, and they're a little late and a little under it.
Teixeira won't chase. Had a little blister problem in each of his first 2 starts. It seems to be gradually getting better. And Ron Washington says if it's not a problem, Ogando stretched out. And Ogando actually went to Washington and said, I want to give you 9 tonight. Went 6 in his first start, 7 in his second. Wants to go the distance tonight.
The first start, the blister formed. The second start, it popped. And this is the third start, and he's got an extra day's rest, 5 days rest, and it did not set him back from his side work. So you know when there was still throwing between starts, it's not too bad.
Breaking ball grounded down to first. Big hop for Napoli. 2 down. That'll bring up Robinson Cano, who is the only Yankee who has been able to do anything against Alexi Ogando so far tonight. He got a slider in his first at bat back in the 2nd inning and left little doubt. He hit a rocket into the second deck at right field for his 4th home run of the season. And smiles all around for the Bronx Bombers at the moment. The 25th home run that the Yankees have hit in 14 games so far this season. That easily leads the major leagues. And it ties an all-time franchise record. And when you're talking about the New York Yankees, that says something. Ties an all-time franchise record for the most home runs in 14 games to begin a season. Now, again, 11 of the 14 have been hit here. And this, as we all know, in the last 2.5 years, first 2.5 years of this ballpark, it's a great hitter's park. But it still speaks, Bobby, to the power this lineup has, whether it's Cano or A-Rod, Teixeira, Swisher, Posada, a lot of guys who can take you deep.
In any ballpark, Dan.
Real interesting mental battle going on right here because Ogando in the first at bat really had a chance to put him away and hung the breaking ball that he hit for a home run. Now Cano comes up in the next at bat knowing that he hit a breaking ball for a home run. He sat on first pitch fastball and swung the bat almost as hard as I've seen Robinson swinging in a long time. And after that really strong swing, where'd Ogando go? Down and in to make him jump a little rope. It's an ego battle.
Fly ball to left field. Cano and the Yankees are retired. Buster Olney with Joe Girardi when we come back. We go to the top of the 5th inning. The weather seems to be getting a little bit better. Not raining as hard right now. As we go to the 5th, David Murphy will lead it off for CC Sabathia. Against CC Sabathia, and he takes a fastball at the belt for his strike. Murphy grounding into a double play his first time up. He'll be followed by Yorvi Torrealba and Julio Bourbon, the bottom third of the Texas lineup here in the 5th inning. Good breaking ball for a strike of the knees. Quickly 0-2. Sabathia giving up 2 runs in the first and a home run by Adrian Beltre. Another run in the 4th on a base hit by Adrian Beltre. Jams him. And a lazy fly ball to right center field. Granderson there, 1 down. Time now for more FaceTime presented by Edward Jones. Between innings, Buster Olney with Joe Girardi.
Joe, what are you seeing so far tonight in CC Sabathia?
You know, the guy that's really hurt him is Beltre, and he's done a pretty good job on the rest of the guys. And he made a mistake in the first inning with the fastball, and it looked like a middle up. And then in the 4th inning, it looked like he had a pretty good pitch. You know, he hit a slider down in the zone, and, you know, sometimes you tip your cap to the hitter.
Alex Rodriguez not in the starting lineup. What's the status for the rest of the game and going forward?
Well, he'll just be day-to-day for us, and we'll try to get him back when we get in Toronto. We have an off day tomorrow, so that should help him as well. We'll just have to see.
Joe, thanks. Dan, back to you.
Buster, thank you. So Alex Rodriguez, I don't think it's anything serious. Again, the off day tomorrow. They've got an off day Monday and Thursday, so that'll affect their pitching plans as well. They do know A.J. Burnett will pitch Tuesday, Bartolo Colon Wednesday in Toronto. That's as far ahead as the Yankees have planned their rotation right now. Phil Hughes on the DL, Colon into the rotation. Ivan Nova did not pitch well in his start this weekend against Texas, so they've got some concerns in the rotation right now. Texas has some health concerns as well. Going to be without the reigning MVP Josh Hamilton for 6 to 8 weeks after suffering a non-displaced fracture of the humerus bone, the bone that runs from your shoulder down to your elbow after a very unusual play on Tuesday. As Hamilton tried to score on a pop-up caught in foul territory over near the third base dugout, nobody covering home. So Dave Anderson, the third base coach, alerted Hamilton. Nobody's at the plate. Hamilton went head first slide, and suffered a broken bone and will be lost for 6 to 8 weeks. Just a freak play that generated a lot of discussion. As a roller to short, circling around it is Jeter. Throw on the run, not in time. A base hit for Torrealba. And this play generated a lot of conversation for a number of reasons. The decision to go, the head first slide, and then the comments made by Josh Hamilton in the aftermath of the play saying basically it was a stupid play. And that's a quote. He said it was a stupid play. Now he later, a day later, Bobby, apologized to Dave Anderson, his third base coach, for making that remark. There was a closed-door meeting featuring, among others, Anderson, Ron Washington, Josh Hamilton. Give me your treetop take on the whole situation.
Well, it was an emotional reaction that was corrected internally. Ronnie and the team did a great job.
Weekly hit back toward the mound, juggled by Sabathia, and a wide throw. Everybody is safe.
There's that range on the bag that I mentioned about Teixeira. This ball is down in the right field corner as Sabathia fields it and then bobbles it. The ball goes down the first base line, and Tex gets off the bag after he's on the bag. Here he comes. He's waiting for the throw, and off the bag. By the way, that ball's in the corner, Earl. That's a run.
An error charged to Sabathia on the play as he juggled the ball and could not throw out Bourbon. So runners at first and second with one out. Of the batter is Ian Kinsler.
CeCe's such a good athlete. You know he's upset with himself right here. It's a play that has to be made. It should be 2 outs. Instead, there's 2 on.
And Kinsler drives the ball to deep left center field. Granderson, a long room to run, shy of the track, will make the catch. Torrealba will tag it to come to third, back to first, Bourbon. .399 to left center field here at Yankee Stadium. A lot of ballparks a lot shallower than that. That could have been very costly.
That ball was hit a lot harder than it went. Granderson went back very rapidly and thought he was going to be going to the wall, and then the wind knocked that ball down and brought it back to him.
So runners at first and third, 2 outs here in the 5th inning. And the batter was Elvis Andrus. And a strike.
Remember, the Yankees made an error behind CeCe in the 1st inning. He pitched the defense out of it. Here he makes the error. He needs to pitch himself out of this one.
He's got to get his concentration back. It was not a good pitch to Ian Kinsler.
Missed inside with the fastball. Andrus, as you can see, for a young player and a guy not thought of as a run producer, has done a great job this year and last year hitting with runners in scoring position. He's 1 for 2 tonight.
This is where the speed dimension of his game puts pressure on the defense, because it will be harder to get the out at first. You have a man on third, so now the infield hit really can hurt you, and that's a dimension of his game that he brings to the plate. With wet grass also out there from the rain that we've had, there's pressure on the Yankees now, not only to make a good pitch from CeCe, but to get him out and get him out quickly.
Up the middle, Cano to step on the bag and end the inning. Sabathia gets out of it. It remains 3-1 Texas. ESPN presented by Taco Bell. Dan Shulman to Bobby Valentine, Oral Hershiser, Buster Olney, Wendy Nix here in the Bronx. 3-1, the Rangers lead the Yankees as we go to the bottom of the 5th inning. The rubber match of the 3-game series between the 10-4 Texas Rangers and the 8-5 New York Yankees. Alexi Ogando through 4 innings has given up just 1 hit, and it was a home run to Robinson Cano. He'll face Nick Swisher, Eric Chavez, and Jorge Posada here in the bottom of the 5th inning. Swisher still looking for his first home run of the season. Hit 29 a year ago. Fastball for a strike. Just below the knees, 2 balls and a strike on Ogando.
Ogando has no walks, no strikeouts, and only 1 swing and miss on a pitch he's thrown tonight.
Look at how low the pitch count is. 47 here working in the 5th inning. Fly ball driven to left field, but playable for Murphy. 1 down. ESPN Sunday Night Baseball, presented by Taco Bell, is brought to you by the Principal Financial Group. It's time to see your financial future. It's time to dream again with the Principal. That looks good. Although we did a pretty good number on some sliders very recently up here in the booth, which seemed to hit the spot.
In between innings, Dan. Let's get it right.
For the most part. You got to do what you got to do. There's Eric Chavez.
The couple days we've been here, we've eaten a lot of cow.
Well, it wasn't totally in between innings.
There's a slider, different kind, as it's fouled off by Chavez, and the count is 0-2. Ogando's done a nice job getting ahead of these hitters as well.
Well, he wants to pitch a complete game. He knows he has to pitch to contact. He has a lead, Earl. He's not getting behind anyone. He's not walking anyone. He's making him put the ball in play, and his outfielders are doing the job for him.
Past a diving Kinsler into right center field. A base hit for Chavez. It's the 2nd hit of the night for the New York Yankees. Check out our Diamond Tracks now. One of the 3 double plays turned by the New York Yankees here tonight.
Yeah, and it's all about time and space. And here's Kinsler hitting the ball. And we track this ball off his bat to the glove. You see it's 0.93 seconds. And then the feed from third base to second base is 1.9 seconds. And then the pivot from second to first is 1.33. Add them all up, 4.16. Kinsler gets down the first and 4.66. There's the differential, and that's why he's out.
Even when a guy is out easily, and he was out easily there, we're still only talking about a half of a second.
Half a second. All time and space.
Yeah. Jorge Posada, first pitch swinging. Right field, dropping, and caught! A diving catch by Cruz, who came a long way from right center field to deny Posada.
A much improved defensive player, always had a strong arm, has worked very hard on his defense, Dan and Oral, and he circles this ball a little and then takes a direct route, lays out, and has this ball land right in the pocket of the glove. There it is. We'll see it as a web gem. Nice play, Nelson Cruz. He sees it, he's tracking it, and this ball goes by him at second and third. Nice job, and then he's trying to throw him out at first.
So 2 down in the inning. Chavez back to first, and Russell Martin takes a strike. A very talented team, as we saw all last year, the Texas Rangers. Beating Tampa Bay in the first round, beating these Yankees in the American League Championship Series before losing to San Francisco in the World Series. The Rangers beat the Yankees in 6 games last year. They lost game 1, although they were up big against CC Sabathia before they rallied late to win game 1. But then the Rangers blew them out in games 2, 3, and 4. got blown out themselves in Game 5, and then Texas won Game 6 to go to the World Series for the first time in franchise history. Josh Hamilton had a big ALCS. Nelson, he was the MVP. Nelson Cruz, Andrus, Sabathia, and the Yankees were knocked out by a Texas team that just, and you and I covered them on radio in the first round against Tampa Bay, Bobby. They seemed to be so relaxed, almost like they were too young to know what they were up against. You know, the playing in October and playing a team with a tradition like the Yankees. They didn't care about any of that stuff. They just played great, relaxed baseball.
Washington's, wow.
A swing and a belt. Martin to deep left field. Gone. Russell Martin continues to deliver. The Yankees have tied the game. Already 4 home runs on the season for Martin, and for the Yankees now 26 home runs, a new franchise record in their first 14 games of the season.
That was a well-rested Russell Martin, get his first off day of the season yesterday, getting 2 runs for his team tonight.
Slider for a strike to Brett Gardner.
Both Chavez and Martin, as you see right there, hitting high fastballs. Both had 0-2 counts. Battled back. Martin's got his hit with a 1-2 count. Remember, Robinson Cano's home run was on a 2-2 count. Just looking for the put-away pitch that he can't find, and Martin deposited that high fastball.
Alexi Ogando, coming into this game, had thrown 54 2/3 innings in his major league career, had given up only 2 home runs. One to Jason Nix, one to Jim Thome. He's given up 2 here tonight. Gardner racing down to first on the drop third strike, but the throw made in time to get him and end the inning. Russell Martin ties the game at 3 at the end of 5. The Baseball Tonight game goes around the majors when we come back. All right, guys, thank you. Top of the 6th inning. The Rangers and the Yankees now tied at 3 here in the Bronx. Swing and a miss by Michael Young. You saw the update there on Dan Harmon and the Angels. The Angels have now won 5 in a row. They're 10-5. The Oakland A's won. You saw the numbers on Trevor Cahill. Oakland starting pitchers now have a .216 ERA this season. It could be quite a race in the American League West between the Angels, the A's, and the Rangers.
Remember, they have a ballpark to work with out there in Oakland, but these are very young, talented pitchers on that Oakland staff.
Young with a strikeout and a double so far tonight. On deck is Adrian Beltre, who's done all the damage for the Rangers tonight. Breaking ball up and away. 3 runs on 6 hits, no errors for the Rangers. 3 runs, 3 hits, 2 errors for the Yankees.
Or big inning after 2 runs scored. You have your ace on the mound. Middle of the lineup coming up for Texas.
CeCe's job to keep the Yankee momentum.
Base hit into left field. For the second time in as many at-bats, Michael Young leads off an inning with a hit.
Early got a breaking ball. Came in on the inside corner. Michael Young's too good to get a breaking ball like this and let it go by. Knee high, perfect swing, perfect balance. Head over the belly button. Head between the legs. Nice balance, nice swing. Good hitter.
Really good hitter.
Hitting over .450 in his last 8 games. Now Beltre. And he rips one into left center field. That ball is down and is going to get all the way to the wall. Young getting the wave. He will come in to score on an RBI double for Beltre, who's now driven in all 4 Texas runs tonight.
As far as the Texas Rangers are concerned, the Yankee mystique is dead. They beat them last year in the playoffs. They're up on them here. They've got a chance to win this series. The Yankees come back with their ace on the mound to 3-3, and they come right out of the dugout off of defense and a couple of key hits by key players. Ball's up. Adrian Beltre does a good job. Notice the hands above the ball, the barrel on the ball.
Now, Beltre's been one of the guys the Rangers have been patiently waiting to get going. Came into this game hitting .214. Kinsler 184. Andrus 174. Yet this is still a very dangerous offensive team. And it's one of the things that separated them from some of the other teams last year was the depth of their lineup, that even down in the lineup they had guys who could hurt you.
And Dan, what separated CeCe Sabathia from everyone else last year in this situation.
Ground ball to short. Jeter makes the play to get a cruise. Beltre stays at second. Well, you talked about the lack of mystique, Oral, for the Texas Rangers when it comes to the Yankees. That all disappeared, as you said, after the American League Championship Series of a year ago when the Texas Rangers swung the bats great, ran wild, and just looked like a team that was much more athletic, really, than the New York Yankees in that series. And they celebrated by winning the pennant and going to the World Series for the first time in franchise history. In 6 games, they hit over 300 and scored more than 6 runs per game.
And a lot of people gave that looseness and their hitting ability, gave credit to Clint Hurdle, who was the hitting coach, who's now the manager in Pittsburgh. But Thad Bosley was picked by Ron Washington to replace Clint Hurdle, and he's doing a very fine job with these hitters.
And this year, Oral, it speaks to really the depth of the organization, that they can be without a Josh Hamilton, Tommy Hunter on the DL. They had to move guys back and forth in the spring between the rotation and the bullpen, uncertain of the roles. It's not like everything has gone well for the Texas Rangers so far this year, but they're 10-4 because they've got so much depth.
If you think about the reaction of Michael Young through the winter, in spring training, that once we get to the season, it's all about playing and winning whatever role. And when your leader, the guy who has the most hits, the guy who's played all 3 positions, when Michael Young has that kind of attitude and no fear of the opponent, the rest of the team takes on that attitude.
Exactly, Earl. And you know, he called a team meeting at the beginning, as we talked about last week, and told the team, hey, listen, I don't want to be a distraction. I want this team to win. I'm only here for the betterment of the whole. And after the meeting, 5-6 guys came over and say, hey, Mike, we know you, man. You don't have to tell us that. We know you're all about the team.
So Josh Hamilton goes down. Tommy Hunter goes down. Ogando goes into the rotation. Somebody has to pick up the 8th inning. It's like all hands on deck. Michael Young does it. We're all doing it.
Attitude filters down from the top.
Give me those blue-collar stars.
Exactly. Do you have the right attitude at the
Show
top
up
with
to
your
work
stars?
every day, no matter what you're making. Go through the professionalism. Michael Young and Adrian Beltre 5 for 6 tonight. They are called on to contribute, especially with Josh Hamilton, the American League MVP, out. The offense needs help. The 2 big guys in the middle of the order, 3-4. Pick it up.
Beltre at second, 1 down, a full count. Sabathia nearing 100 pitches. This will be his 95th, and a big swing and a miss by Napoli for out number 2. Fifth strikeout of the night for Sabathia brings David Murphy to the plate.
That was the command out of the strike zone you were talking about earlier, Earl. He knew he had a swinger, and he went up out of the strike zone, controlled the pitch for a ball, and got his strikeout.
You have to read the hitter's emotions and where he is in the at-bat and what he's doing with the bat.
Breaking ball to Murphy, and it's 0-1. Murphy's grounded into a double play and hit a fly ball to center field. He'll be a regular with Josh Hamilton out for several weeks. They're really only carrying, the Rangers are, 3 outfielders right now. Mitch Moreland, who's at this point more of a first baseman, has also played some outfield in the past. He's their 4th outfielder. So a lot, Bobby, really on Murphy and Bourbon right now. Everyday players, no backup.
Yeah, but Murphy can hit, and they like what he brings to the offensive table. Not a center fielder, a corner outfielder, but there are his numbers, and he can provide the offensive pop.
And as you saw from those numbers a moment ago, he did a really good job filling in for Josh Hamilton, who was injured last September. Murphy played on an everyday basis in the month of September a year ago.
You know, Murphy's one of those guys. He stands so far from the plate. It looks like he can't reach the outside pitch, and everyone pitches him away, and he gets out there and still hits the ball.
Thought that one was outside. 2-2 the count.
So did live K-Zone.
He doesn't hit that one up.
K-Zone turns yellow when it thinks it's a strike. And the last 3 pitches have been opposite of the home plate umpire.
(4-3) Texas, 6th inning. Big pitch here for Sabathia. His 100th pitch of the night. Fouled back.
Now that's a mistake. He wants that pitch away. It came back in. Pitch is right down the middle, a little even on the inside third. Murph says, boy, I wish I had that one back, because that's right in my sweet zone.
When a hitter does that, you get by with a mistake, you feel like you've got him out if you can make your pitch now.
Good smother there by Martin behind the plate. The count is full.
If he loses him here, Dan, you're probably going to get a trip to the mound from the pitching coach, making sure that CC has enough to complete this inning.
With an off day and a rain out, he's on some extra rest, on 6 days rest. Last pitch last Sunday night. Got a piece. Sabathia is one of the few guys remaining in a Major League Baseball in this era, Oral. He's a horse, and his manager, whoever his manager happens to be, whatever team he's been on, he always gets a little bit of extra rope.
They turned 30 on his way. Larry Rothschild looking on. Lost to 25 pounds, wants to pitch for a long time. He's very intelligent, very competitive, and he does keep going out there for these guys.
Lost him.
think you'll see Larry Rothschild now go out to the mound. He's got to make that trip.
And right on cue. No sign of any activity yet in the Yankee pen. ESPN Sunday Night Baseball, presented by Taco Bell, is brought to you by Cabot. Finish like a pro with Cabot wood stains. Cabot, that's pro. And by Volkswagen. We're here at Yankee Stadium in the Bronx. Sunday Night Baseball, presented by Taco Bell. Dan Schulman, Oral Hershiser, Bobby Valentine, Buster Olney, Wendy Nix, and also Carl Ravitch, Barry Larkin, John Pruck. Baseball Tonight gang traveling to the Sunday Night Baseball game each and every week. We will be in St. Louis 1 week from tonight when the Cardinals host the Cincinnati Reds as David Robertson begins to throw in the Yankee pen. Look at that bullpen. I mean, look at that. It's a little bit nicer than the old place. They've upgraded a little bit, Oral.
They've expanded. They've upgraded. I'm sure there's heaters and air conditioning in the glassed-in area.
You know, in the background there, we saw the
reliever.
anointed one.
The reliever.
That's right. There's Mariano Rivera in the bullpen already, having fun with his group. Many ninth-inning pitchers don't even show up in the bullpen until the 8th inning. He's already there, ready to go.
1-1 the count on Torrealba.
Lee Smith in his day would still be in the middle of his nap.
Right?
On the training room table, which he took for about...
Right?
Now, he's not strapped on out there, ready to go.
Right.
He hasn't even buckled his belt. Well, finally he got his belt buckled. He's got the jacket on.
Throw down to second.
Yes.
And somehow Beltre got back in safely. That deserves another look.
Once again, if you straddle the bag and let the runner come to you, you can make a tag in a play like this. But Robinson Cano took that ball on the inside part of the bag and then had to reach back for Adrian and misses the tag as the left hand gets into the base. See right here, he's inside the bag and has to reach back as that hand might have got it in there. But he could have just been straddling the bag and let the runner come to him.
Usually you're called out on that for general purposes. You're just out by so much, you don't even have to tag him. Gary Cederstrom not assuming anything and wants him to be tagged out, and Beltre pulls the right arm away and gets the left arm in. The old giveth and taketh away slide got it, and it worked.
Exactly. Showed the right hand and then took it away. Left hand got in there.
And when they showed, it's usually kind of a crocodile arm show.
Teixeira inning over. But the Rangers take the lead. Beltre drives in his 4th run of the night. 4-3 Texas, top of the order for the New York Yankees when we come back. on ESPN, presented by Taco Bell. That burst of bad weather we had earlier tonight seems to have gone away, thank goodness, and we're enjoying our time here in the Bronx right now. 4-3 lead for the Rangers over the Yankees as they wrap up the series, and we wrap up the week in Major League Baseball. Texas and the Yankees splitting the first 2 games of this series. Back and forth they've gone here in this game. Top of the order for the Yankees right now against Ogando. It'll be Jeter, Granderson, and Teixeira. Jeter was 0 for 2. A well-hit fly ball to right field and a ground out to first. His average now sitting at 231.
After all fastballs on his first 2 at-bats, Dan, he gets that slow breaking ball, the first pitch, out in front of it. But I think that swing lets Derek know that he is on time with the fastball. He's out in front of the breaking ball, but he is on time. He's had it. He's seen it enough tonight to be able to drive this ball into the gap.
Not that ball.
No, not that ball. Really, this is the Yankee chance to score to get CC his first win of the season, because you know he's not going to face the 5th batter of next inning if 2 men are on, because Adrian's been wearing him out tonight.
Slice to right field and in there for a hit. Cruz knocks it down and will hold Jeter to a single.
The worst ball he's hit of the 3 at-bats tonight, but 1 falls in. He should have got a hit in his first at-bat. He had a bullet line drive to right field. The second bat, a hard ground ball that was 3 unassisted. Now he's a little bit out in front. He does a good job placing it out there in the right place. The weakest contact, but the best placement.
Exactly. Weakest contact because it was off the end of the bat, but he was on time. He was there, ready to hit it. Hey, 1 for 3 always looks better than 0 for 3. He's feeling good right now, Dan.
Now 61 hits away from 3,000. The batter is Granderson. The tying run at first for the Yankees with nobody out here in the bottom of the 6th. Granderson is 0 for 2. Alba to the mound to talk with Ogando.
Dan Orel mentioned earlier the underbelly right now of this Ranger team is right now the right-handed relievers in the Texas bullpen, leading up to Darren Oliver and then Police at the end. And O'Day has been struggling. Ron Washington doesn't really want to put him in a game when he has a lead, and he's probably going to overextend his starter to try to get to the end of the 8th inning.
So far this season, Texas relievers have pitched fewer innings than any other team in the American League. And, you know, with Nolan Ryan as your president, kind of challenging the starters to go deeper into games, and the young arms of Harrison and Holland and Ogando, and the great job done by Mike Maddox, one of the most highly respected pitching coaches in baseball. The Texas Rangers pitching numbers just keep getting better and better. They're 2nd in the league in ERA right now. Finished 4th last year. Some power arms, Orel, too. I mean, Harrison can bring it, and Ogando, as we've seen, consistently in the mid-90s.
Great arms that they were worried about their command and strike throwing ability, but they have upgraded that for all of them.
Granderson turns on one deep to right field. Gone! And once again, it's the home run for the New York Yankees. They have scored all 5 of their runs tonight on 3 homers.
Ogando faced Seattle and Detroit in his first 2 outings. We suspected that the Yankees may give him trouble. A, because they're more disciplined, and B, because they are such accomplished hitters, they know what to do with a high fastball. It took them a few innings to catch up, but once they have caught up, Granderson takes a high fastball that has been getting most hitters out and doesn't pop it up, but pops it out of here with that swing.
Granderson hit a home run off Ogando in the ALCS last year. and turns on one here to give the Yankees their first lead of the night. Now Mark Teixeira. Teixeira with a pop-up and a ground out. 5 runs on only 5 hits for the Yankees, but again 3 of those hits home runs. Now 27 home runs in 14 games for the Bronx Bombers. There's a changeup, which have we seen that pitch yet tonight from Ogando?
No, but we did talk to Tom Grieve, Oral and I, this afternoon, and I said he's going to need that changeup against this left-handed hitting lineup of the Yankees if he's going to get by. Right?
Yep. Tom Grieve works the television broadcast for the Texas Rangers, the old general manager for the Texas Rangers, and he gave us a nice scouting report on Ogando. We talked about trying to be a one-pitch pitcher against the Yankees and how that could be tough if he doesn't have command of a second or third pitch.
Back to the breaking ball now, and Teixeira couldn't check the swing. 2-2.
Morrow, first look live here as a starter. I don't think his breaking stuff is enough to get by in the American League consistently. He's going to have to really develop that breaking stuff, or you're going to see a lot of balls leaving the park.
See more home runs given up tonight than he had given up in all of his prior regular season outings in the big leagues, covering 54 2/3 innings.
In my opinion, is the breaking ball might be good enough and the changeup might be good enough, but they need to be mixed in, because when he has success with the fastball, he can't then become a bull in a china shop and just keep coming at you, because these American League lineups are strong enough to hit one pitch. And even though he has success with the one pitch, he's got to remember to keep mixing his pitches.
Well, a lot can change in a month, but at some point Tommy Hunter's coming back. Does Hunter regain his spot in the rotation? Does Ogando go to setup, or does Ogando keep his spot and maybe Hunter wind up in the bullpen? And this is what the Rangers wrestled with in the spring with Neftali Feliz. What do you need more, a closer or say a number 3 or 4 starter? They might have the same discussion amongst themselves with Alexi Ogando when the time comes.
Players usually make that decision for you, though. The more they see him, the more they'll know.
But 2 problems for the Texas Rangers. They're now in the national spotlight, and they will have a pitching controversy, just like the Yankees did with Jabba Chamberlain and Phil Hughes. So they will have to debate that in the public forum.
Buster Olney's got some thoughts. Buster?
Yes, I talked to the Rangers earlier this week, and they recognize that their biggest issue right now is in that spot, and it would not be a surprise if they're one of the many teams expected to be aggressive, looking for relief help later this summer. That really hasn't started to develop yet, guys.
All right, Buster, thank you. It does figure as always to be an active middle of the summer, month of July, when the contenders look to shore up their weaknesses. Cano bounces one out to second. 2 down.
Laura, when we mention this breaking stuff, I think against right-handers it might be effective, but I haven't really seen one pitch other than that changeup he threw to Tex there that is an effective off-speed pitch to left-handers. He's got to pitch up in the strike zone and in the strike zone with his fastball, and he does that relatively effectively, but I just don't think it's enough to last. Needs a little better arm speed, and a little better break, and a little better command, all of the above.
Batter Nick Swisher. We're in the bottom of the 6th inning here at Yankee Stadium in the rubber match of this 3-game series, a rematch of the American League Championship Series, and the Yankees on a home run this inning by Curtis Granderson. The Yankees' 3rd home run of the game have taken their first lead of the night off Alexi Ogando with the Texas Rangers. Adriana Beltre's driven in all 4 runs for Texas. Robinson, Cano, Russell Martin, and as mentioned, Granderson have homered for the Yankees. CC Sabathia is on the mound and has pitched the first 6 innings for the New York Yankees and has a chance now to get a win as the Yankees have taken the lead. CC's over 100 pitches and Jabba Chamberlain has gotten up in the pen.
He's jicking right now, Dan. That is just in case. Just in case there's 2 men on. Michael Young, Adrian are coming up. Jabba will be in the game.
CC doesn't seem too uptight about it. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs, nobody on here in the bottom of the 6th. Another play for Kinsler. And the inning is over. Guess what? The New York Yankees hit another home run. There's proof. The third home run of the game and the 27th at 14 games hit by the Bronx Bombers. Curtis Granderson has given the Yankees the lead. It is 5-4 for the Yankees at the end of 6. Bobby Valentine, Oral Hershiser, Buster Olney, and Wendy Nix. I'm Dan Schulman. A 5-4 lead for the Yankees. Going to the 7th inning now. CC Sabathia is back on the mound. Over 100 pitches, pitching with the lead for the first time tonight. Remember, he's pitched well in his first 3 starts, an ERA of 1.45, but he doesn't have a win yet. Julio Bourbon leads off the inning. Number 9 hitter, left-handed batter. After Bourbon, 6 straight righties do. Jabba Chamberlain working in the pen. We'll see what Joe Girardi's thought process is on this inning, how it develops. If and when he goes to the bullpen. Breaking ball, nubbed foul, and the count is 0-2.
I really doubt that Joe will allow the go-ahead run to get on base while CC's out on the mound. Jabba's getting loose, and he's getting loose with a purpose. And he wants CC to lead this game, either a no decision or a win. He's not going to have him lose this game. And the other interesting development, Dan Oral, is that Jabba is throwing, and he's been throwing very well this season. If CC gets through this inning, I doubt he'll come out for the 8th. And the question will be, will Soriano come out for the 8th, or will it be Jabba? Because Soriano really hasn't been doing the job.
Gave up a couple of runs yesterday. Sliders, swing and a miss, 1 down. And here he comes.
Well, that makes that decision.
The righties are coming up. The big lefty is heading out. Chamberlain's coming in from the pen. as Joe Girardi has gone to his bullpen. But first, let's take a look now at our pro tips, brought to you by Cabot Wood Stains.
CC Sabathia came into the game needing fastball command or getting his changeup online. The fastball command was still erratic. Fastball's what hurt him in the middle of the plate or up or on the outer half and up. But when he got the changeup over, it was a pitch that saved him and got him out of a few innings. You see this changeup on the outer half to right-hand batters. Good job keeping that ball down and away and getting him off the fastball that wasn't located very well. And you see the numbers. This is his worst outing of the year, but he still has a chance to get his first victory. 0-1 with a 1.45 coming in. Now, 4 runs, but a chance for a W.
Jabba Chamberlain off to a good start this season, better than a strikeout per inning. This is his role. He is, at the moment, the 7th inning guy. As Bobby mentioned, Rafael Soriano's the 8th inning guy, but he has not pitched well in spots this season. Of course, Mariano Rivera, the 9th inning guy. 1 out, nobody on, 5-4 Yankees. Kinsler is the batter. 0 for 3. And now 4 for his last 35. After a very hot start to the season, homering in the first 3 games. Lays off, 3-0. You okay?
No, not as a manager. I'm not okay.
You made a little noise there.
He's got to throw strikes to this first guy that he's facing.
Joe's facial expression matches the noise you just made. There's ball 4.
There it is again. Oh, boy.
In CC's first outing, the bullpen let him down. The second outing, the offense didn't get him any runs. His third outing, he ran into Josh Beckett, an ace for the Boston Red Sox that was off his game, but got it together. And now he finally got some offense, and he wasn't very good. Just average for him. And it's hard to watch 4 balls when you sit down as a starter with a lead.
Kinsler with some speed, draws a throw.
You know, CC came out of the game because Girardi invoked Lasorda's rule number 1. If you're going to wait for one person to get on to take the pitcher out, take him out before that guy gets on. He did. And the runner got on anyway, Dan.
When the confidence in the bullpen is down from the coaching staff, a lot of times you want to get him in there with no runners on. Give him a little rope, a little leniency for error, and Jabba has caused the error. Now let's see if he can pitch out of it.
It's going to need that breaking ball. He's slow to the plate.
And a strike. Kinsler took a step or 2 and then put the brakes on. Didn't look like he was intent on running. And the count is 0-2 now on Elvis Andrus.
That step was gauging his move to see what kind of break he got. After he did, he looked at Gary Pettis. Pettis gave him the thumbs up. Now, this is a pitch out count, so he probably won't be going on this pitch. But he knows he has the leg timed, and he can steal it when and if the manager gives him the green light.
1 steal this year, 15 last year, 31 the year before that. Reaching for a little chopper out in front of the plate. Martin's got to go a long way to get it, and just gets the out at first base.
Well, that was almost PFP, wasn't it? Ball back to the mound. Gary Pettis is arguing at first base, and here comes some reinforcements from Ron Washington.
Pettis tossed out.
It's a long way out there, 60 feet 6 inches to the mound, and this almost gets halfway. Russell Martin called Jabba off early. Looked like the pressure on the bag was there. Oh, I think he might have got him by the length of a spike.
Isn't it wonderful what a great game this is, that it could be that close? How did they figure out for it to be 90 feet. If it was 89.5 feet, he beats it easily.
No way. The fielders play closer. The fielders play closer. The human beings on the field.
You think the catcher can
no
play
time
closer
and
to that
space.
play?
The human beings on the field know time and space better than anybody, and they play to that edge right there.
So you think the catcher would have gotten to that ball sooner? No.
The pitching mound would have been closer. Instead of at 60 feet 6 inches, the bases are 88. They would have made the pitching mound 60 feet. You play according to the field. We figure it out. Perfect. Our brains will figure it out.
Perfectly. We need a first base coach, so we'll wait for Thad Bosley, the hitting coach, now to get out there and replace the ejected Gary Pettis.
Bang, bang
dejected
play.
also.
Yes. We saw it 4 or 5 different times on replay, and you can still make a case safe or out. The call goes in the Yankees' favor, so 2 down. Kinsler, the tying run at second for Michael Young, who's already 2 for 3. A double, a single, a couple of runs scored. Young in his career 4 for 11 against Jabba Chamberlain.
No fastball strikes here, Earl.
Curtis Granderson, the center fielder, is way over to Michael Young's power alley, which is right center field. He hits the ball hard to right center, so Granderson has really shifted over. In the air to right center field, pretty well struck. Swisher can't make the catch. It's a ground rule double that will tie the game at 5. And there will be no win again for CC Sabathia.
He's a 2.88 ERA now, and he'll have no wins. He's pitched 4 games. He's gone pretty deep in every game. Bullpen has either let him down or the offensive support has let him down. This being his weakest outing, still was in a position to win his first game.
I can't believe Michael Young got a fastball hit in that situation.
Here's Beltre. What a night he's had. Slider down and away to Beltre. Hit a 2-run home run in the first. Had an RBI single in the fourth. Had an RBI double in the 6th. So a triple away from the cycle. And probably realistically a single away from giving Texas the lead again. If he can deliver a 2-out base hit just like Michael Young did.
Every time the Yankees have made a shot at these guys and got on top or crawled back into the game, Texas Rangers have counterpunched right back.
Wouldn't throw him a fastball, 2-0. 3 balls, no strikes on a Beltre.
Oh, you mentioned the punch. The punch to the stomach of Joe Girardi was that walk leading off.
Wound up coming in to score. 3-1. You saw that graphic we just put up. The last Ranger to hit for the cycle. You'd win a bar bet or 2 on this one. Benji Molina did it last year.
I remember the triple.
That had to be memorable.
Very memorable.
Fastball grounded back to the mound. Chamberlain throws out Beltre to end the inning. But no win for Sabathia as Chamberlain gives up a run. 7th inning stretch in the Bronx, all tied up at 5.
Luckiest man on the face of the earth.
The most storied franchise in professional baseball. 60 years ago today, the Major League debut of Mickey Mantle. Maybe the greatest baseball name ever, too. Mickey Mantle. Tied at 5, bottom 7. Eric Chavez leads it off for the Yankees and fouls it off. Ogando still on the mound for Texas. Bullpens are busy.
They're busy with Arthur Rhodes up in the pen, and now you have to ask the question, is A-Rod available tonight?
And the impression that we got from Joe Girardi before the game was that he wanted to give them a full night off. They've got an off day tomorrow before they start a series in Toronto on Tuesday, and that we would not see Alex Rodriguez tonight, who had a bit of a stiff back in yesterday's game, left in the 7th inning. Good range by Beltre, and he'll throw out Chavez. Rafael Soriano, the so far much maligned setup man for the Yankees. He's had a couple of rough outings, an ERA over 9. And there's one of the 40-somethings. There are 10 major league players, active major league players, in their 40s. 3 of them are in the ballpark tonight. Arthur Rhodes, Darren Oliver, and Mariano Rivera, as the rain has come back again. No flashes of lightning this time like we had a few innings ago, but a pretty steady rain now falling here in the Bronx. Buster Olney down on the field reporting it is thick rain.
Oh, I'll bet it's wet also.
Big drops.
Let's go down to Wendy Nix for an update.
Well, Dan, I'm back with the grounds crew. They've had a busy night off and on. They haven't been called out yet, but they're getting together as I speak just in case. And they got the tarp pulled out, ready to go at a minute's notice.
Well, we'll see how this develops here. Right now, they could play in this. I think if it stays like this, it's playable, but definitely something to keep an eye on here. Tie game, 7th inning. 2-1 the count on a Posada, who's 0 for 2.
Ogando still does not have a 3-ball count, so as far as statistics, this is a crucial pitch.
Pretty amazing. Just 84 pitches through 6 1/3. But he has given up 3 home runs, accounting for the 5 Yankee runs tonight. There's a 3-ball count.
Well, he's heard the loud crack a few times tonight. And Posada's one who could make another loud crack, especially on a 3-1 fastball.
If he gets a hit, the odds are it will be a home run.
He's only at 5.
Yeah, 5 of his 7 hits this year. Pulls it foul.
He got the 3-1 fastball a little inside, though, just couldn't keep it fair.
He did a good job just not breaking his bat on that pitch.
Posada becoming the full-time DH for the Yankees. Emergency catcher, but nothing more than that defensively at this point of his career. 38 years of age. The 17th season that he, Derek Jeter, and Mariano Rivera have been teammates. Down and in, ball 4.
That's the pitch you're looking at, Bobby, and you say needs more development, because a starting pitcher, second and third time around the order, needs to be able to throw a 3-2 breaking ball, a basic breaking ball for a strike. If he is always backed into counts and is back into his reliever repertoire, which would be fastball mainly, he's very comfortable in the 7th, 8th inning. He just hasn't thrown this many pitches in his career to this point.
Exactly.
So the go-ahead run at first base with 1 out in the bottom of the 7th. Here's Russell Martin, who homered his last time up.
It's not much action, just Arthur Rhodes in the bullpen.
Well, you've got a pitcher on the mound that's learning to be a starter, that's used to the 7th and 8th inning, that has had blister problems in his first 2 starts that have been very dominant. But he's on his 88th pitch, and he's given up 5 runs so far tonight.
Big swing, 1-1 the count on a Martin.
Yeah, he can't hang the breaking ball like that, not in this part of the game. Torrealba's going out there to tell him that too. He's yelling out there, keep it down, you got to keep it away, let's go, use your head. This kid's not afraid of anything, I guess, from whence he came. He's been through the mill, he's happy to be here. He's going to give it all he has.
Composed was the word that Ron Washington used before the game when describing Ogando. Martin trying to shake the raindrops off the bill of his batting helmet. This one will get back out of play.
And you know, the viewers might have seen a shot of the Texas Ranger dugout and seen a fella touching his ear, right ear, left ear. That's Jackie Moore touching his ears right there. He's the bench coach, well veteran member of the staff.
Giving signals to Torrealba about picking off at first.
A little pick off, little hit and run. Might be pitching out, but not in this count.
Well, for New York fans, it's been kind of a mixed bag today. The Rangers won their game up at Madison Square Garden earlier this afternoon to get their first win of the series against Washington, but the Knicks lost their game by 2 points to the Celtics in the opening game of their series.
And they were up by a point with 21 seconds to go.
The Knicks were?
Yep.
There's a liner into left field, a base hit for Martin. Up to second goes Posada.
Well, now it's a time whether or not Ron Washington thinks that A-Rod definitely has the night off. Because if he's sure he has the night off, he'll bring in Arthur right now to pitch in this situation. If he thinks there's a chance that he's loose and he can pinch hit, he'll stay with him, and the decision's made. Collective wisdom. They got the same report we got. What do you think, O?
Well, we can see Andrew Jones walking with a bat in the Yankee dugout, too. So if Gardner's lifted, it might be Andrew who's coming up to hit.
Definitely would be, but that's the lesser of the evils.
Rhodes waiting for the word. Jones waiting for the word. And Ron Washington has made up his mind. Ogando will leave. Rhodes will enter with the Yankees threatening to reclaim the lead. Here in the bottom of the seventh, Andrew Jones pops out into the on-deck circle. Valentine, Oral Hershiser tied at 5. The bottom of the 7th inning. Here's a look now at our game track, brought to you by USAA. A big night for a couple of Rangers, Adriana Beltre and Michael Young, and all of the Yankee runs scoring on home runs tonight. Cano, Martin, and Granderson, both starters, are now out of the game. Sabathia and Ogando. Ogando leaves in a tie game, but the runners on are his responsibility. 27-year-old right-hander making just his 3rd major league start. Posada's at second. Martin's at first. Gardner's been lifted for a pinch hitter, Andrew Jones, who will face Arthur Rhodes, making his 5th appearance of the season. 41 years of age, and he can get righties out, just like the other left-hander they've got in the pen, Darren Oliver. Another key spot of the game that has gone back and forth most of the night.
And Dan, if they had a right-handed reliever, they would have brought him in to pitch to Gardner, I believe. Gardner hitting 147 coming into this game with 2 RBIs. He'd have the right-hander in there for Gardner and Jeter instead of facing Andrew Jones, who's hitting 364 coming into this game.
First pitch breaking ball, swung on and hit to center field. Bourbon the catch. Posada bluffs a start and then stays at second base. A big second out for Arthur Rhodes. Now Jeter. 1 for 3, had a single into right field his last time up. A clutch hit here to potentially bring in the go-ahead run. Would get the critics off his back for, at least until then.
A New York minute, exactly. Off day tomorrow. That's 2 days.
They're counting those hits. 2,939 right now, the most that any player has ever had for the New York Yankees.
I expect him to hit the ball hard. I think he looks a little bit more locked in. He's had 3 quality at-bats. The bloop hit was the one that he got, but the other 2 at-bats he looked very good.
I think he's going to be able to pull the ball. Lied.
0-2, and you saw from the numbers before the last pitch, he has not had any success, or much of any, against Rhodes. Just 1 for 12 in his career. Rhodes with Cincinnati last year. Began his major league career 20 years ago. 1991 with the Baltimore Orioles. Good movement on that fastball. Earl ran it in. Cutter, it looked like, ran it in, belt high on Jeter.
Torrealba hitting his glove down by the dirt to give the runners the ability to say, oh, it might be breaking ball. You might want to relay that to Derek. And then they went fastball. Just in case there's a peak, or just in case somebody's trying to relay signs. Torrealba giving Deke signs behind the plate.
Lays off, down and away.
And Earl, you just think, call it a hunch that Posada and Jeter, having played a couple of years together, they might have a little something going on.
Just a little bit.
Just call it a hunch.
Yankees took the lead in the bottom of the 6th. Texas tied it up in the top of the 7th. The Yankees trying to retake the lead here in the bottom half of the 7th. And a grounder to short to end the inning. 7 in the books here at Yankee Stadium as Rhodes gets the job done. The Rangers and Yankees all tied up at 5. The MLB Fan Cave right here in New York City. All kinds of special guests this week. C.J. Wilson from the Rangers dropped by. Jeremy Guthrie from the Orioles. Adam Jones as well. Baltimore Oriole teammate. Also Houston Street was here. You can check in with Mike O'Hara and Ryan Wagner. The two lucky fans who will be sharing their experiences at the cave all season long at MLBFanCave.com. Andrew Jones stays in the game at left field after pinch hitting for Brett Gardner. And the new pitcher is Rafael Soriano. And you can see it has not gone well in the early going for Soriano. Formerly of the Tampa Bay Rays, had such a great year last year as a closer, signed a huge contract to be the 8th inning guy, the setup guy for the New York Yankees. Facing Nelson Cruz. Got that breaking ball up a little bit, but Cruz swings through it, and the count is 0-2. Got him. 3 pitches and a strikeout for Soriano. Let's check another diamond track in Orel. This is truly a bang-bang play we saw earlier in this game.
Chopper out in front of the plate. Elvis Andrus, his time to first base is 4.10 seconds. The ball goes out in front of the plate. Russell Martin from that time to when he receives the ball, 2.8. Russell Martin from his bare hand glove to first base Mark Teixeira, 1.27. The differential that the runner was late by 0.03. He was out, and you see how close the ball's in the glove. The foot's almost on the bag. 3/100ths of a second. What a difference. Bang, bang.
Think Gary Pettis feels any better? Or still upset?
He's probably in the clubhouse right now. Just saw us do that, and he's just waving his arms. Going, I don't believe it. I still think he was safe.
It's like the replays. And it was really close, show that Adrian Johnson had made the right call at first base. Here's Mike Napoli, 0 for 2 and a walk tonight. And Soriano delivering the goods so far here for the Yankees.
Well, we know that 3/100ths of a second now is probably about a quarter inch.
3/100ths of a second. Think about it. And he got it right. Again, great job by the umpires.
The 0-2. Shallow right. Over is Swisher. 2 down.
You know, and to think that umpires are taught to watch for the foot and listen for the ball. So it's not that they're trying to pick up both with their eyes. So they're watching for the foot and listening for the ball. So he heard the sound of the ball hitting Mark Teixeira's glove before he saw the foot hit the bag.
Even though sound travels slower than light.
Oh, boy.
Wow.
You just took the whole thing up a notch right there. I'm out.
I'm out, too.
Bobby will be bringing you home, everybody.
Well,
David Murphy.
Dan, we talk about a lot about team loyalty and chemistry. I think we need to stay with it.
I didn't know there'd be any physics tonight.
Well, that's all we're talking about. We'll drop it there. We've got the knife and the fork and the outside pitch to Murphy coming up here.
Over a leaping Jeter into left field, a base hit for Murphy. And the Rangers have the go-ahead run on here at the top of the 8th inning.
There again, the outside target to Murphy. Ball comes right over the middle of the plate. He hits a liner to left center. Here's the target, and here's the pitch. Smack down the middle of the plate. That's missing by about 10 inches. With 2 outs, nobody on, a little lack of concentration. And execution, of course.
Here's Torre Alba. 2 down, a man at first, tie game, top of the 8th inning.
Well, you know, Dan, if you hit a ground ball that goes over the pitcher's head and up the middle, you usually call it a high chopper over the infield.
We have a different kind of a high chopper over the infield.
It's hovering up there, isn't it?
Oh, runner was going, and a swing and a fly ball to left field. Jones back, inning over. Still tied at 5 going to the bottom of the 8th inning, and the Yankees will bring up the 2, 3, and 4 hitters in their lineup. Is presented by Taco Bell. Think outside the bun. And in part by State Farm. State Farm agents are there when you need them. Find an agent or get a quote at statefarm.com. And by Sears Blue Lawn and Garden Crew. Compare all the ways Sears beats Home Depot and Lowe's for the right to be on your lawn. Bottom of the 8th inning, 5-5 tie. And Arthur Rhodes faces Curtis Granderson. Granderson has already homered in this game. His 4th home run of the season. His first 3 home runs this year all came off lefties. He only hit 4 home runs all of last season off lefties. And he's ahead of the count now, 2-0.
He really likes that fastball about thigh high out over the plate to pull off of left-handed pitchers.
Up and away, ball 3.
No surprise that Curtis Granderson is seeing a lot of pitches. He's seen 4.6 pitches per at bat this year, 2nd highest in the league. In his first 3 at bats, he had already seen 11. Here he is, 3-0.
After Granderson, it'll be Teixeira, who will turn around and bat for the right side against Rhodes, and then Cano. Only Derek Barton of Oakland has seen more pitches per plate appearance this year than Granderson. Way up in the air to right center field. 1 down. Mariano Rivera now up in the pen. If the Yankees get a save situation, obviously he'll come in for the 9th inning. Even if they don't, home team, no more save situation after that. Off day tomorrow. We might see Rivera one way or the other in the top of the 9th inning.
We definitely will. And when you say it's a tie game, it's really not a tie. Texas has a bit of an advantage right now because they have 2 of their pitchers, Oliver and Felice, remaining, and the Yankees only have Rivera, who are their winning game pitchers, if you will.
The ahead in the game pitchers, and then the behind in the game pitchers.
Here's Teixeira. He is 0 for 3 tonight, a ground out and 2 pop-ups. Turns around to bat for the right side against the left-hander Rhodes. And Rhodes again falls behind. Fell behind on Granderson 3-0, but battled back to get him. Now 2-0 on Teixeira. Off speed for a strike. Derek Jeter had a chance to give the Yankees the lead in the 7th inning, 2 on, 2 out, but he bounced into a fielder's choice. Russell Martin sitting behind him has a home run for the Yankees tonight.
And you know, these Texas pitchers know what we know, that the Yankees score runs on home runs. In the middle of the lineup right now, Arthur Rose is not going to give in to a home run pitch.
Didn't give in, went back off speed again. So a 2-0 slider and a 3-1 slider.
That's right. He read the notes.
It's what is known as pitching backwards. You use your fastball for balls, and you get back into the count with your breaking ball.
Boy, look at the location on that fastball. Torrealba slid inside Oral, and Rhodes was right there.
You pitch forward by getting ahead with your fastball and finishing people off with your off-speed stuff. You pitch backwards by falling behind with your fastball and then throwing your off-speed stuff to get back in and finish them off. And some pitchers actually pitch that way, and that began in the olden days. I guess that would be in the 50s, where they found out the first pitch fastball hitters better to show them the fastball early and then the breaking ball as you go later.
Breaking ball low for ball 4.
Pitched him completely backwards the whole at bat.
MLB.TV, baseball everywhere. Watch over 100 live out-of-market games per week online and on your favorite device. Visit MLB.TV for details. It seems like each team has had a threat almost every half inning to tie the game, take the lead, depending on the situation. We're tied at 5 in the bottom of the 8th right now. Activity looks like it may be getting underway in the Texas pen.
I would suspect that to be Darren Oliver, another left-hander.
Robinson Cano, the batter. Homered yesterday, has homered tonight. Sliced down the left field line and drifting back into the seats.
It's O'Day and Oliver in the Texas bullpen warming up. But not O'Day at all. Oliver and who?
I think that's Pedro Strop who is up there, the right-hander.
Pedro Strop.
Just outside.
He had an interesting outing the other day. He threw 6 pitches, the first 2 hitters struck them both out. Then, with 3 walks and 2 balks later, he got out of the inning.
She was saying Ron Washington might be a little more relaxed going to Oliver. going to the 40-year-old as opposed to the youngster.
Robinson Cano.
Switch hitter on deck in Swisher. Left-handed batter after that in Chavez. Left field. Deep but playable. On the warning track, Murphy makes the catch for the second out.
Well, how many times do you think guys hit a ball like that at Yankee Stadium and I wonder if I was another 90 miles north in Boston?
I think a lot of times.
A lot of times.
That left field corner gets out there. And it gets out quick, the angle. Boston with the green monster coming straight across. It is the place in Yankee Stadium that pitchers look for outs because you can make mistakes and you can still get outs out there in left field.
You see just 318 down the line, goes out to 399 in left center though. Here's Swisher. He too turns around to bat from the right side against the left-hander Rhodes. Just getting the job done from the right side. 9 for 18. Still looking for his first home run of the season from either side of the plate. Teixeira at first, 2 down in a tie game here in the bottom of the 8th.
It's a well-placed fastball, isn't it? Right between the plate and the batter's arms.
Especially in an 0-1 count where you're going to throw the fastball, but you're going to make sure it's not in a place where they can get an RBI.
Rhodes upset with himself. It came out of his delivery a little bit there and missed badly up and away. 2 balls and a strike.
What they're playing here is no doubles with 2 outs. They don't want the runner to score from first at a double. They want 2 hits in this situation if the ball stays in the ballpark. Outfielders are deep, third baseman on the line.
Into right field, a base hit. And the go-ahead run, Teixeira goes up to second with 2 down.
With 2 outs, you've got to go. There's no sense holding up. Mark Teixeira doesn't do that, but he also realizes with his speed and Nelson Cruz's arm that he's not going to third, so it was station-to-station ball. You're not going to make the first or third out at third base.
Mike Maddox to the mound. Oliver and Straub continue to throw. Fielder Culbreth will break up the meeting of the mound right now. Eric Chavez to face Arthur Rhodes. Again, Chavez playing for Alex Rodriguez. Not available tonight. Stiffness in his back and his oblique yesterday. They're going to give him off until Tuesday in Toronto. More cold weather here tonight.
And Dan, as you saw the outfield playing deep with the man on first, now the outfield comes in and plays a regular and more shallow depth because a single scores a run. They have to throw him at home.
You saw the numbers. Chavez 7 for 25 in his career. A lot of experience against Rhodes. The Yankees not doing much with the runners in scoring position. They've hit their fair share of home runs, to say the least. But can they capitalize in this type of a situation with a clutch base hit? And again, Rhodes falls behind.
The other way to prevent runs is to make it 2 hits by the infielders now. The shortstop and second baseman out in the outfield grass, not minding an infield hit, but not wanting the ball to get through to the outfield.
Now to play, 2-1.
All the games within the game, you know, you have to play the situation, you have to play the scoreboard, you have to play the hitter's ability to pull or hit the ball the opposite way, and it's a wonderful, wonderful game the more you know about it.
A look back at Teixeira at second. Swisher's the runner at first. Strike taken, throw down, and back in safely is Teixeira. The count now 2-2 on Eric Chavez.
There you had a set play from the shortstop to the catcher. The ball gets by the hitter. I'll be breaking. The shortstop's breaking. Catcher makes a very good throw. The center fielder knew the play was on. He's coming to back it up. Throw right behind the runner. Everybody's on the same page. That's a little squeeze of the hand behind the back that the shortstop gives to the center fielder, so he knows the play's on.
30th pitch of the inning for Arthur Rhodes. Lined up the middle, a base hit. Teixeira around third. Bourbone's throw not in time, and the Yankees have taken the lead.
Arthur Rhodes against Eric Chavez. Now 8 for 26 because of that hit. He gets him, and he gets him mostly when the ball's away. Extends his arm, drives it right up the middle. Alex Rodriguez is out. Eric Chavez is the replacement. The replacement comes through as the all-star that he was in his prime, but now healthy and swinging the bat well.
Jeter's excited, and the other replacement is Bourbon for Hamilton. If Hamilton's in center field, I think Teixeira is stopped at third base, and people wonder if it's a difference. Yes, it is.
And with Chavez taking second on the throw home, a base open, and the Rangers will intentionally walk Posada to load the bases for Russell Martin. And then you would imagine the right-hander Strop will be coming in. He is up and throwing.
Real hard thrower, not with control. Going to bring him in with the bases loaded and 2 outs in Yankee Stadium. Should be interesting.
The Rangers led 2-0, then 3-1. The Yankees tied it. 4-3 Texas. The Yankees went on top. The Rangers tied it. And now the Yankees have taken the lead in the bottom of the 8th inning. It's been that kind of a night. And here comes the skipper. The right-hander is coming into the game to face Russell Martin. The Yankees up a run, 6-5 with the bases loaded here in the bottom of the 8th inning in the Bronx. RBI single here in the bottom of the 8th inning that has given the Yankees a 6-5 lead over the Rangers. Setting the stage for Mariano Rivera, who's waiting out the bottom half of this inning before he comes in to try to do his job and lock it up in the top of the 9th. Arthur Rhodes just fell behind too many hitters and eventually grooved one for Chavez, who ripped it right back up the middle.
And I mentioned earlier the moves that went unnoticed by the New York Yankees are paying dividends here early in the season. Russell Martin playing like an all-star. Eric Chavez playing in place of an all-star and possibly getting a game-winning hit.
So here's right-hander Pedro Strop to face Russell Martin with the bases loaded and 2 down. The 25-year-old on an opening day roster for the first time in his career, a converted infielder who began his professional career with Colorado, and in 3 1/3 innings, so 10 outs, 7 of them have been strikeouts. Dismissed with a breaking ball to fall behind 2-0 and nowhere to put him. With Swisher at third, Chavez at second, and Posada at first. Joe Martin, you got to be sitting on a fastball right now, right?
He almost, he might even be taking, but I think he's going to come out of his shoes. Yeah, he did.
Fouled straight back, and the count is 2-1. Martin's already had a good night. a couple of hits, including a home run in the 5th inning off Alexi Ogando.
The only reason I said he might be taken is because he walked the bases loaded his last outing. Russell might not have known that. Had a good pitch to swing at, huh?
He sure did, and he did swing hard. Going to get the same pitch right here.
A little bit low. 3-1. Andrew Jones on deck should the inning continue. Yes, he did.
You know what? You can't fault Russell Martin for having a check swing on that. Bases loaded, already have a 1-run lead. They don't want to walk another run in. And you know what? The Texas Rangers, the battery, they thought the same thing. They threw the breaking ball and they got him to commit.
And if he throws it 3-1, he's liable to throw it 3-2, right?
Yes,
unless
he is liable.
He'll throw a fastball.
I think he's going to throw a fastball.
He did. And a grounder to short. Inning over. The Yankees, though, get the go-ahead run on a big RBI single by Eric Chavez. And we will go to the 9th here in the Bronx. The Yankees now with a 1-run lead, up 6-5 on the Rangers. And in to try to close it out for the Yankees, Mariano Rivera, who has been his usual brilliant self so far on this young season, and apparently in no rush to make his way into the game. 1 or 2 more warm-up tosses in the bullpen. Now he's ready to go. And the Rangers 5, and the incomparable Mariano Rivera has come into the game. He's up to his old tricks so far this season. 6 for 6 in save opportunities, has yet to allow a run on the season. Seven and a third, 4 hits, no runs, no walks. You've got to earn it. Mitch Moreland will be the pinch hitter for Julio Bourbon. After Moreland, it'll be Ian Kinsler and Elvis Andrus, the top 2 hitters in the lineup. 565 career saves for Mariano Rivera, second all-time to Trevor Hoffman, 601. And Rivera picked up the save yesterday, tossing a scoreless inning. Day off tomorrow for the Yankees. The movement on the cutter. You could just see it. That pitch right there. If you've never seen him before, you saw what you needed to see.
The human eye is not strong enough and accurate enough to pick up this late a movement and that great a movement. Just the 8 inches that ball moves, but because it moves so late, the last picture that the hitter's eye sees, it sees it as straight or slightly moving, and then it moves more than the eye knows, and they get jammed.
Ian Kinsler has had some success against Rivera. Sometimes the feeling is that a right-handed batter's got a better shot against him, that the cutter tends to move away from the righty. Rivera jams the lefty so often, but a little bit different tactics against the righty, who's a little bit more likely to get his arms extended against Rivera.
And that was the theory. But then Mariano countered that theory by starting to throw the cutter inside to righties and getting them to jump off the plate.
Starting the ball right at their ribs and breaking it over the inside corner to the right-hander.
Actually left that one over the middle of the plate by his standards. He doesn't do that very often. Still got a foul ball, and it's 1-2.
That's the other amazing thing about Mariano Rivera. Not only that he has the supreme pitch, the pitch really in baseball that is almost impossible to hit. The other thing is he has such great athletic ability, and he locates it perfectly.
And it just makes me chuckle sometimes when there's actually a debate on whether or not you need a lights out stopper at the end of the game, or if you need a starting pitcher who can win you some games. The Yankees' success over the last 15 years are because of this guy and no one else. Why is it so hard for other people to understand? If you have someone like that, your chances of winning, as Joe Girardi knows, increase greatly.
Fouled straight back by Kinsler, and the count remains 2-2.
Into the Rangers radio booth, Eric Nadel, the great voice of the Rangers, almost made a fine play.
3-2. Eric Chavez base hit in the bottom of the 8th inning has given the Yankees the lead. Now Mariano Rivera on to try to nail it down in the 9th. 2 down. That's the pitch you're talking about, Bobby.
Yes, sir. Oral, take it away, baby.
Throw it at the ribs of the hip and break it on the inside corner. He did not have great accuracy on the balls away, so he goes to a pitch that I'm going to fool him with, make him flinch, and cut it right over the inside corner. Start it in, make it look like it's going to be a little bit of a knockdown, cut it back in.
2 down, Elvis Andrus. Looks like Andrus is standing a little bit further off the plate, just seeing what happened to Kinsler, so Rivera paints the outside corner. He'll notice if a hitter creeps up or steps back 2 or 3 inches, right?
Yes, and he will wear that out. The only thing you see different with age with this man is about 2 miles an hour velocity. Accuracy and movement are still there.
2-2 on Andrews. If he can get on, Michael Young will get a chance. He didn't go on the appeal, and a full count.
If he gets on, he'll be going on the first pitch. I don't think he's getting on.
Weekly hit to third, charged by Chavez, just in time to get him, and the Yankees win it. Chavez delivers the game-winning hit. Had a little trouble getting the ball out of his glove on that play, but got it there just in time to get Andrews. And the Yankees beat the Rangers 6-5 and take 2 out of 3.
Ball's off the end of the bat. Chavez has to come hard. He doesn't get a full grip on this, so he takes the extra steps getting the grip. That almost cost him, but another bang-bang play at first with a good stretch by Tex.
And tonight's Chevrolet player of the game is Eric Chavez for delivering that RBI single with 2 outs in the bottom of the 8th inning that gave the Yankees a 6-5 lead, a lead they would turn into a win thanks to the work of Mariano Rivera in the 9th. The Yankees take 2 out of 3 from the Texas Rangers here in the Bronx this weekend in a rematch of the American League Championship Series. They beat Texas tonight 6-5. Coming up next here on ESPN, stay tuned for Sports Center. This has been a presentation of ESPN, the worldwide leader in sports. For Oral Hershiser, Bobby Valentine, Wendy Nix, and Buster Olney, I'm Dan Shulman.